In this exercise, we'll learn another method to do our scrolling backgrounds. This time we'll use recycling. So let's give our project title a name, Recycling Background. And I'll actually save the file, save as. I'll just put it in my project folder. Recycling Background. Okay, so let's go and start on our first scene here. I'll double click that to open, and I'll go down to images and I'll just hit my add button and find an asset. This one I'll use background.png. Click open. And again, our scene is the iPhone landscape, and the size of our scene is 568 by 320. So we'll just auto-generate an actor here by dragging that up. I will double click it to adjust its size if it needs it, and it does here. So 568, again, this is proportionally correct. It was done in Photoshop by 320. Okay, so we've resized it to match the size of our screen, and I will drag that actor in. I'll just get it close, but I will double click it to get my position exact. So again, because the registration point is at the halfway mark, half of the width puts it in the center, which is 284, and the height is 160 in this case, which again is based on half of these widths and heights. Okay, if I go back here, it should be perfectly positioned on the stage, and it is. Let's click save and move on here. So the technique we're going to use here is we're actually going to put two of them on the stage. So let me grab another instance of that actor, and we want to put it so that this line starts right at the edge. So we're going to be running this one off to the left. This one will be following, and again, the logic behind this is that when this one goes all the way completely off the screen, we'll give it a behavior to say, reposition yourself at the back of the line and start over again. So when one's filling the screen, one's leaving, the one that has left magically appears at the back of the line again and seamlessly follows the other. So again, with this we need to be very specific on positioning. Let me double click that. And the height is 160. Whoops, let me try that again. Double click that, 160. And what you need to do for the X is you need to take the full width and also add a half. Remember, it was 284, so we need to add 284 to 568. Get your calculators out. I believe it's 852. Hit my tab key. I can find out now by clicking my back button, and I can see it is perfectly aligned off to the right side of my screen size. So let me just save that again. So now I've got two different actors on the stage, two iterations of the same actor, one perfectly centered on the screen and one precisely pushed off the screen to the exact pixel. So we're going to go back now and we'll attribute some behaviors to the original actor here. And we'll start with our move behavior. We'll just drag that over there. And just the direction should be 180 from right to left. Hit my tab key for that. And relative to scene. Now if I try this right now, we'll see it go by twice basically. And then it's gone. So we want to have that repeating feature going. So we'll do that by creating a new rule. And this will be based on positions. So let's go in here. The first condition will be an attribute of our background. Position X, double click that. And if that position is less than or equal, and we'll base this on the size. And remember, we're moving left of the 0 line, so it's actually a minus. So we'll start with the minus, and then based on the background width, so we'll go to size, width, and divided by 2. Remember that center point is the halfway mark inside of the actor, so we'll just go half of the width to the left of the 0 axis is one condition. So when it reaches that point, we're going to want it to reposition itself. So let's go in here and we'll add change attribute. Again, same attribute, background, position, X. This time we're going to change it to the width of the background plus half of the width. So I need to add a plus sign because remember, the center point needs to go 1/2 the distance beyond the right side of the screen. So we'll again insert the width. Actually, let me just delete that for a second and use a parentheses because we're going to divide this by 2. So now we'll input the width and the divide by 2 and then close parentheses. If you know your algebra, you'll understand that. If you don't, you need to go on faith here. So plus parentheses, half the width is where it's going to go. Let's just take a look and see if it works. Preview. And I can see that it's repeating. Now I do see a little line there, so it would need a little tweak. But that is an alternate method for creating scrolling backgrounds that are repeating. This one basically repositions it when it comes off screen and puts it at the back of the pile to re-enter the screen from the right. So we call this recycling. And I'd like you to try this one today as well.